So I just got something really cool in the mail yesterday, a new variant of the CJRB Pyrite. Now, this is what they should have done the first time around. This is actually amazing. Coming in under $60 for powder metallurgy steel with a button lock, reversible pocket clip, incredible fit and finish. Does this look to you like a $60 knife? And they've done really aggressive milling in here. So even though it's a steel frame, it's milled so much, it doesn't actually feel very heavy. So they did a phenomenal job on this. Now, I didn't have the regular pyrite in the steel handle, so this is a really cool piece. But it suffers from the exact same problem that I had with the pyrite. Now, let me explain. So I work in a government facility that is very strict about I'm allowed to have a pocket knife up to a 3-inch blade. So here's the problem. If I open up the pyrite, it comes in, it comes in just over, and I mean just over that 3-inch mark. You can see it comes in just over. Excuse me. Now, if you're measuring it by the blade, the actual cutting edge, yeah, of course it's going to be less than 3, but not everyone measures that way. So it's important to me that I play within the rules, even though I've had my bosses tell me, it's not a big deal, don't worry about it. No, this is definitely something that I just don't want to be nailed with, right? So I was hoping that when they came out with this, and I have seen pictures of it before I got it, I didn't think it was going to be this good, that they would have shrank the blade maybe a little bit. I can't be the only one having this concern, but no, it's 3 1/8 inches total length. And it's even more of a question mark for me in this design, because when you have a sheep's foot blade shape like this, what is the part of the blade that you're going to use the most? You're going to use probably the last half or full inch of the blade at the very, very end for draw cutting purposes. So is there a really big difference between 3 1/8 or 2.99 inches? Yeah. From a performance perspective, probably nothing at all. You're not going to notice a difference whatsoever. But one is potentially legal and one is potentially not in given areas. And I feel like that was a huge missed opportunity that they had here. I don't want to take away from the fact, though, that this is one of the nicest budget button locks I have ever seen. Excuse me. In fact, I would say it kicks the daylights out of my current carries, both of them exactly under 3 inches. The Elementum 2, which is a button lock as well. And I'm not a back flipper person as much, but I do like this knife. And the the Vosti Corgi, which is both a front flipper and a back flipper. Really cool design. Micarta handle, almost similar in price, 14C28N blade steel. All of these are great. I would take this one over those two in a second, as long as it had a sub 3-inch blade. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to grind down that last little bit that they have extended this blade to. And I'm probably going to notice not a single difference whatsoever. I'm going to use the Canyon blade grinder from Worksharp to do that. And while I'm at it, I may also do the same for the Pyrite. Why not? That way, both of these knives will be under 3 inches. And I love them. I think they're great, with that very small exception to the rule. That is the only thing that actually annoys me about these knives. And then on top of that, we have now the Pyrite XL. Oh, this knife is great. 3.6 inches, and I don't really care if this is 3.9. In Virginia, it's perfectly legal to carry something up to a 4-inch folder. So I'm all for it. Going to go bigger, I'm cool with that too. But this is great. And it's going to have the blade length to do all the food prep tasks without getting any food in the pivots, because you have all this excess space. And that's kind of why I like a larger knife, to complement the multi-tool specifically. So great lineup, but can you just like stealth change these to shrink just a smidgen? Like a small amount. It's very, very little. Especially, it's weird that this is actually shorter than this one. It's kind of funny. But no, it's so little. I just don't understand why it's that way. Maybe you guys can explain it to me down in the comments. Maybe I'm being a little bit silly with this. But other than that, this might be one of the best button locks I've ever seen. And I love that they have continued to incorporate this shelf design in their locking mechanism. I feel way better about the security of this particular type than I do with almost any other button lock. Most of the time, like in the case of the Elementum here, you can see that the shelf is kind of like wedged. You know, there's an angle to it versus something where it fully stops and the whole rounded side of, what am I trying to say? You can see how like the entire thing just sinks right in, right? It's got a lot more connection. So if something were to jar it a little bit, there's less of a chance of it slipping out. I like that design better. I haven't had any issues with something like the button lock Elementum, or I should say the Elementum 2, but it's a little bit better with this design in my opinion. And you would think it would bind up more, but I have not had that experience. Maybe mine have been really good, but so far, all three of these have been phenomenal without any issues to speak of when it comes to action or lockup. That's it for today. Brand new design from CJRB. I think it's going to be a home run. Just keeping in mind that it's 3 1/8 inches blade. Thanks again for your time, and we'll talk again soon.